Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to really getting under the skin of important topics. Today we're diving deep into something that probably hits home for a lot of you learning English. Those hidden habits, the things we do that kind of subtly block fluency. Ever felt like you're stuck on a plateau? Or your English just doesn't, flow? Well, this deep dive is absolutely for you.
That's exactly right. And let's be super clear right from the get-go. We're not going to be here picking apart little grammar mistakes or spelling slips. That's not the focus.
Right.
Our mission today is really about uncovering those deeper things, the mental habits, maybe some hidden fears, or just learning strategies that aren't quite hitting the mark and might be, well, unconsciously holding you back. Understanding these is, honestly, it's the crucial first step. It's how you unlock that more confident, natural-sounding English.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive, we want to dig up the top 5 of these, let's call them fluency stalling mistakes.
Yeah, good name for them.
We'll give you clear insights into why they happen, like what's going on in your brain, and maybe most importantly, some real actionable things you can do to start communicating more smoothly with more confidence.
Sounds good.
Let's jump right in then. Mistake number 1, and this is probably the most persistent habit we see, translating too much from your native language.
Right? Yeah. Big one.
It feels logical, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You think in your first language, the one you're comfortable in, and then you just sort of convert it word by word into English.
It absolutely feels like the right thing to do, especially at the start. But here's the problem. It creates this massive cognitive load. Your brain is doing double the work.
Double work.
Yeah, like composing the thought in language A, then trying to find the words and structure in language B, English. It slows you right down.
Okay.
And maybe even more importantly, it often makes your English sound, well, pretty unnatural, kind of clunky to a native speaker.
We found a really good example of this. Imagine someone from India, maybe speaking Hindi or Tamil, wants to say they're hungry. They might literally translate and say something like, I am hungry of food. Now, the words hungry and food are fine, but that structure, hungry of food, it just doesn't work in English. Makes no sense.
Exactly, and that highlights a key issue. Loads of common phrases, idioms, even just simple ways of saying things, they just don't map directly one-to-one between languages.
Right.
Or the same idea is expressed totally differently. So if you translate word for word, you end up with something awkward, or maybe even something that means something else entirely.
Okay, so if that direct translation is a bottleneck, how do we fix it? How do we start thinking in English? What can listeners actually do?
Well, the main thing is you have to consciously try to think directly in English. Start small. Really simple sentences.
Like what?
Like just describing what's around you. It's hot today. Or asking yourself, where is my bag? Simple stuff. Don't translate it first.
Okay, bypass the translation step.
Exactly. And another great technique is visual association. See a chair. Think the English word chair immediately. Don't think the word in your language, then translate. Connect the image directly to the English word.
I like that. And another strategy that came up was practicing common sentence patterns, like chunks of language.
Oh, definitely. Things like, can I have? Or I'd like to? Or it seems like.
Right, those ready-made phrases.
Yeah. When you get those patterns down, your brain starts to automatically think in those English chunks. It avoids the whole detour of translation and really speeds things up. Helps you retrieve words faster, too.
Okay, good strategies. Let's move to mistake number 2. You called this one a tricky trap.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's focusing too much on grammar.
Now, wait, grammar is important, right? We're not saying ignore it.
No, absolutely not. Grammar is the structure, the skeleton. But the mistake is when it becomes your only focus. Like you spend all your time memorizing rules, doing exercises.
You'll never actually speak.
Exactly. You see learners who can, explain the past perfect continuous tense perfectly.
But then they completely freeze up in a simple chat. Because knowing the rules about the language isn't the same as using the language.
Right. It's like knowing the rules of swimming versus actually getting in the water.
Perfect analogy. Think about how kids learn their first language. Do they study grammar books first?
No, definitely not.
They listen, they copy, they make tons of mistakes, and they just use it. Language is learned through using it, through communication, not just by analyzing it.
And this is kind of freeing, actually. You pointed out that even really fluent speakers, even native speakers, we make small grammar slips all the time.
Constantly.
And it's okay. Communication is the goal, right? Getting your message across confidently, not being grammatically perfect every single second.
Precisely. So think of grammar as like a helpful guide, something you use to maybe clean up your language as you go, make it clearer. but it shouldn't be this giant wall that stops you from opening your mouth.
A compass, not the whole map. I like that. Okay, that leads us nicely into mistake number 3, which you said is maybe the biggest hurdle. It often is.
Simply not practicing speaking regularly enough.
Yeah, it seems obvious, but it's so common. People say, I really want to speak better English, but then they don't actually practice speaking much.
Why is just reading or listening not enough? You're getting input.
Input is vital, absolutely. But speaking is an output skill. It's a physical skill, almost like a muscle.
A muscle.
Yeah. Your mouth, your tongue, your vocal cords, coordinating all that with your brain to form sounds and sentences in a different language. If you don't exercise that muscle, it won't get stronger.
Ah, okay. So reading and listening build knowledge, but not the speaking muscle.
Exactly. You need to train your mouth and brain to actually produce the language spontaneously.
So practical advice. What if you don't have someone to practice with?
Great question. And the good news is you don't always need a partner, especially to start. Try self-talk.
Talking to yourself.
Yeah. Just narrate what you're doing. Like if you're cooking dinner, okay, now I'm chopping the onions, the pan is getting hot, I need some oil. Do it out loud in English. Okay. Even simple stuff.
Simple stuff is perfect. Or practice conversations in your head. Think about what someone might ask you and how you'd reply in English. It sounds maybe a bit basic, but it builds confidence and starts wiring your brain for fluency. Creates that internal English space.
Right. Gets the wheels turning. Okay. Mistake number 4. This one feels a bit more personal.
It often is. It's the fear of making mistakes.
Ah, yes. The perfectionism trap.
It can be paralyzing for learners, this constant worry about saying something wrong.
We really need to flip the script on this one. Mistakes aren't bad. They're not the enemy.
Not at all. They are, in fact, probably your best teacher.
How so?
Well, every time you make an error, and hopefully you notice it or someone points it out, it's like a little signal to your brain that says, okay, that didn't quite work, let's adjust. It helps you figure out the boundaries, the patterns. It's actually how learning happens.
So trying to avoid mistakes actually stops you from learning. In a way, yes. If you're too scared to speak because you might make a mistake, you never get the practice and the feedback you need to improve.
And again, nobody speaks perfectly.
Nobody. Not even native speakers are flawless. Fluency is about getting your ideas across effectively, with confidence. It's not about achieving some impossible standard of perfection. Mistakes are just bumps in the road, signposts showing you where to focus next.
Embrace the bumps. Okay, final mistake, number 5. You called this one sneaky.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's memorizing vocabulary lists, but then never actually using the words in real life.
So knowing the word isn't enough.
Not for fluency, no. You can have a huge passive vocabulary words you recognize when you read or hear them, but that doesn't mean you can pull them out and use them correctly in a spontaneous conversation.
Why not, if you know the word?
Because words don't live in isolation. They live in contexts, in phrases, with other words, collocations. If you just memorize advice from a list, you might not know it's uncountable.
Right, like the example you gave, saying an advice.
Exactly, because you haven't practiced it in real chunks, like, can I give you some advice? Or thanks for the advice. You haven't learned how the word actually behaves in the wild.
So the word stays on the list, not in your active speaking toolkit.
Pretty much. It either gets forgotten quickly or you misuse it when you try to speak.
Okay, so the fix.
Active use. Immediately. Learn a new word, let's say, delicious. Don't just write it down. Make a sentence about your life.
Like, this coffee is delicious.
Perfect. Or, I had a delicious meal last night. Connect it to your experience, that personal connection and actual usage. That's what makes the word stick and become part of your active, usable vocabulary.
Makes sense. Put the words to work.
You got it.
Okay, so those are the 5 big mistakes. Translating too much, over-focusing on grammar, not speaking enough, fear of mistakes, and just memorizing words without using them. Let's try and see how this looks in action. We've got a little scenario here with Amir, who's learning English in Delhi. Let's listen. Hey, Amir. Haven't seen you in ages. How are things? How have you been?
Yes, I am feeling good. Yesterday, I go to market. I buy many vegetables for cooking.
Oh, nice. You went to the market, got some vegetables. Sounds good.
Yeah.
What did you cook?
I cooked chicken with spicy water like my mother always do in my country. I mean, my grammar bad, sorry.
Hey, no need for sorry. You're communicating. That's the main thing. Spicy water. Interesting phrase. Were you maybe making chicken curry?
Yes, chicken curry. I don't know the English word for it properly. In my language, we call it muga masala.
Okay, wow. Amir's short conversation there is like a perfect storm, illustrating all 5 of those points we just covered.
Right. Let's break it down.
Okay, first, that phrase, spicy water, where did that come from?
Seems like a direct translation, right? Mistake number one.
Exactly. Translating directly from his native language instead of using the common English term chicken curry. It sounded unnatural.
And then he immediately apologized for his grammar. My grammar bad. Sorry.
Yeah, classic sign of mistake number 2. Focusing too much on grammar. That worry about correctness, it just interrupted the conversation flow, made it awkward,
Yeah, you could feel his hesitation.
which points to mistake 3, not practicing speaking enough. Those pauses, the searching for words like, it's just the speaking muscle isn't getting a regular workout.
Mm-hmm. And that hesitation also screams mistake number 4, right? The fear of making mistakes.
Absolutely. You could almost hear the fear of messing up. It made him hesitant, less fluent than he might otherwise be.
And finally, mistake 5, memorizing without context.
Well, think about it. He cooked chicken curry. He clearly knows what it is, but he couldn't retrieve the English term quickly. He defaulted to muga masala.
Ah, so he might know the word curry if he saw it written down.
Possibly, but he hasn't used it enough in real conversation for it to be readily available. The knowledge is passive, not active. It shows that gap between just knowing a word and being able to use it fluidly.
Wow, okay, seeing it play out like that really highlights how these things connect and hold someone back.
It really does.
So, wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for everyone listening?
I think the core insight here is that getting truly fluent in English isn't just about piling up more vocabulary or more grammar rules.
Right, it's not just about more.
It's more about becoming aware of these underlying habits, these fears, these strategies that maybe aren't serving you well anymore, and then consciously working to change them.
Identifying and transforming those blockers.
Precisely.
So let's leave our listeners with something to think about, a final provocative thought maybe.
Okay, well, if we think about language learning as this long, ongoing journey, then maybe every mistake you make isn't really a failure. Maybe it's actually a signpost, a little marker showing you exactly where you need to go next, what you need to work on to reach the next level.
I like that. Mistakes as signposts.
So the question for you, the listener, is this. How can you, this week, intentionally look for those signposts? How can you take something that feels like a mistake and consciously decide to learn from it, to use it as a deliberate step forward on your path to fluency? How do you turn that mistake into your next move?